If you know how to meditate correctly, you can build the intensity of your thought to such a degree that you just have to think to manifest things in your life. It is just the purity of the thoughts and the intensity that determines how quickly it's going to come to fruition. I'm reminded of a small incident that happened in the ashram in India. So I lead a very simple life. We don't even have a refrigerator, a fridge there where I live. I don't keep phones. And there is practically nothing artificial there other than the people sometimes who walk around. So one day in the morning, my morning meal generally is tomato soup. That's all I take. Vidya Swami, he is from South India, and he made this upma once. At that time, we didn't have a blender, so there was no tomato soup, I just recall. So he used to make upma for me sometimes. And he made upma, but there was no tomato in it. And I said, Swamiji, why are there no tomatoes in this? It's very different. He said, we ran out of tomatoes. I said, oh, you could have told me yesterday, we would have sent somebody to get tomatoes from the city. Where we live, there is no road. You have to cross a river, and it's on a little mountain. So we're not connected with the city. There's an 8 kilometers of journey. And he said, I forgot. And then I just looked up to Mother Divine, and I said, what is all this? You've already given me your vision, right? I saw her form manifested with these 2 eyes. Just this far, I had other experiences too. I said, you've already given me your vision. What is this test now? I'm just asking to get a tomato soup in the morning, just tomato. Is it that complicated? And I said to Swamiji, Swamiji, thank you, but I'm done. I'm not going to have anything. He's very devoted. He immediately became very sad. We just had one room at that time, and he used to be there and I used to be there. Somebody knocked on the door, and he went, and there was a villager, and he brought a bag of tomatoes. And he said, oh, we got these tomatoes. And normally we don't accept anything there, but because it's the villager and it was their first crop of the season. So he brought tomatoes, and Swamiji came running in. He said, Swamiji, we've got tomatoes. Should I make some upma? I said, no, Swamiji, now it's okay. We've offered it to the Divine. Now you have it. I'll have my evening meal, afternoon. And then somebody else knocked on the door. And this person came with a bag of tomatoes. And he emptied the bag, and he was about to close the door. A third person's walking with a bag, tomatoes. And there was a carton there, a cardboard. He emptied it to start putting tomatoes. And those of you who don't know, I am committed to truth. I only speak truth. And truth is what you believe to be true. Right? I've taken this lifetime vow of truth. I love being truthful. And that's why I don't engage in social conversations. That's one of the reasons I don't speak over the phone and stuff, because you just have to talk nonsense, and sometimes lie slips out, even when you don't want. So I don't want to get into that situation. So what I'm telling you is pure truth. There is no exaggeration, and there is no sugarcoating. It's just the way it is. That day, more than 15 people brought bag full of tomatoes within a span of 35 minutes. We ran out of space, and then we said, no more tomatoes, please. Take them back. And I looked up to the Divine and I said, thank you, I got the message. I don't want the tomatoes. But I said, I am sorry, because I didn't mean to ask or complain as such. But when your thought gathers momentum, then you can do anything. you can even dream of in your wildest dreams. So when you sit down to meditate, for me, meditation is not to feel good and relaxed. You can do that better by sleeping, or maybe, I don't know, drinking, or maybe watching a good movie. You maybe feel more relaxed. The goal of meditation is to build that extraordinary awareness, that crystal awareness. And without the slightest of exaggeration, I'm telling you, when I used to meditate, I could hear spiders moving on the wall. There was really no wall, it was just broken huts, wooden planks, laid next to each other. I could even hear a spider moving. And sitting still is only one of the aids to meditation. It is not meditation in its own right. If sitting like this or sitting still was meditation, I always say all frogs, all spiders will be great meditators. Yeah? They're sticking there in one location for hours and hours unmoving. It is what you do in that stillness. It is how you manage and maintain that awareness that makes all the difference. That is the primary difference between meditating and thinking I'm meditating. So what is meditation? There was a woman. She met her friend in a supermarket after many months. Her friend asked her, "How are you doing?" She said, "I'm doing wonderful." She said, "How's your son doing?" She said, "Oh, he's doing great too." And she said, "Is he employed now?" She goes, "No, he's still unemployed, but he meditates these days." And she said, "Well, what is meditation?" She said, "I don't know, but I guess it's better than sitting around and doing nothing." But that's what exactly meditation is, being able to sit and do nothing. Because your mind is always doing. It is, there is this saying in Bhagavad Gita, "Udred atmana atmanam na atmanam vasadayit. Atmaiv hi atmano bandhur atmaiv vripuratmana." Krishna says, "Arjuna, do you know who is your greatest friend and your own greatest enemy? Your greatest enemy?" He said, "You are your own greatest friend and you are your own greatest enemy. Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenatmaiv atmana jita. Anatmanatastu shatrutve vartet atmaiv shatruvata." When you go according to your mind, if you keep following where it is taking you, you are your own greatest enemy, because now you're in control of your mind. Whereas if your mind starts to follow you, you are your own greatest friends. And this is the primary difference between a yogi and a bhogi. A yogi is okay to quit. A yogi is unaffected whether I have it or not. A bhogi says, "No, I have to have it. I can't. I have to have my tea. I have to have my coffee. I have to have my beer. I have to have my XYZ." That have tos, they drive you. And changing the course is being in that meditative awareness. That's all meditation is, the ability to do nothing. But meditation as an act is not the goal. Meditation as a phenomenon is the goal. When you still have to meditate, that means you haven't learned to meditate. Vedeshu yaggishu tapsu chav. Daneshu yat punya phalam pratishtham. Once you cross the river, you no longer need the boat.